So, you're curious about the food on MSC Cruises? Well, we need to talk. Hey guys, Shawnee here. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys find yourself enjoying this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe. Recently, I took a cruise on MSC's Magnifica. Now, to say that I was worried about the food quality on MSC is quite the understatement. All over YouTube, all over social media, there are reviews that are scathing. So I needed to find out for myself. Now, if you are anything like me, when you go on vacation, you want to enjoy copious amounts of food. I always like to say I've rarely met a buffet I didn't like, but I was nervous when I was introduced to this buffet that we might not get along. All right, embarkation day, my favorite day on any cruise. Energy is sky high and people are ready to party. Now, all of those party people happened to be making their way to the buffet the same time that I was, and it was a zoo. But that's to be expected on embarkation day. Now, the buffet was called the Sahara Cafeteria. Now, I found that title interesting. Cafeteria always brings to mind elementary school, old ladies in hairnets, and getting yelled at because you wanted chocolate milk instead of white. No! But anyway, I digress. So I wandered into the buffet. The first thing I noticed was a beautiful salad bar. Everything was well stocked. Food looked fresh. Lots of salad fixings and a ton of fresh fruit. Now, I was not in the mood for healthy eating, so I made my way to the hot section. I made my first plate, and it consisted of carved roast beef, a delicious savory demi, steamed vegetables, a dish called lamb biryani that I was not familiar with.
Biryani, a mixed rice dish with meat, popular in South Asia.
A baked ziti, and MSC Cruises' famous pizza. Now, everything on that plate was really good. The highlights being that baked ziti and that pizza. Now, this should not be surprising because MSC Cruises is an Italian line and both of those foods are Italian. Now, I really loved that pizza, and if you know me and my channel at all, whenever I'm really enjoying something, the finger comes up, and that finger was way up. So fast forward to dinner. I had dinner in the main dining room. I enjoyed a bread basket that's packed with fresh baked goods. I especially enjoyed the sesame roll that was crusty and super delicious. Now, that bread basket had these little fresh baked breadsticks that were out of this world. Now, I also enjoyed several glasses of Pinot Noir, which hindered my filming of the main course and the starter. So I'm just gonna tell you about it. The starter was tomato soup. Now, that tomato soup was very disappointing. It tasted like Campbell's out of the can with way too much water. Now, the main course I had was prime rib, vegetables, and a baked potato. The prime rib tasted really good. It was a little tough, but that baked potato, it needed probably 30 more minutes in the oven. Very, very upsetting because I love baked potatoes. Now, for dessert, I ordered up a pistachio daiquoise. I was not familiar with that dessert.
Daiquoise, a French dessert made of nut meringue and whipped cream.
That was incredible, as you can see from my empty plate. I also love sweets, and it's going to play into the rest of this review. Okay, let's jump to the first breakfast on MSC Cruises. I went up to the buffet, to the Sahara Cafeteria. I was wandering the buffet and I noticed several items that I was not familiar with. Lots of Indian items, Asian again, and then I noticed why. It was the vegan section, which is amazing, but as you know from my previous dinner, I am not a vegan. So my breakfast consisted of overnight oats, fresh fruit, roasted potatoes, cold cuts, cheese, hash browns, bacon, and an egg sandwich. And of course, no breakfast would be complete without coffee. And I must say, MSC's coffee is amazing. So the breakfast. The overnight oats were overnight oats. Fresh fruit was good. The roasted potatoes were excellent. Cold cuts, very good. The bacon, it was all right. The egg sandwich was very good. The croissant was fresh baked, you could tell. I also had pound cake and this little tidbit called a chocolate twist. Now, that chocolate twist was delicious. So the highlights of that breakfast were definitely the baked goods once again. MSC, you are killing it with all your fresh baked goods. I love that. All right, so after a wonderful day on their private island, Ocean Key, it was time for dinner. I'd had that disappointing meal in the main dining room, so I thought I would try out the buffet for dinner. Let's try to have a healthy dinner.
Oh, no.
So I made myself a nice healthy salad and a plate that had 3 vegan items, white rice, an Indian bread, French fries, and minute steak. Oh well, I tried. Now the 3 vegan items were delicious. A chickpea goulash and 2 curries. Now the minute steak, I feel like I'm being punished for shoving a minute steak on my vegan plate. It was tough, but it had really good flavor. The salad was excellent. I only had a couple bites of the greens, and I found myself eating mainly the salami and the blue cheese. I'm a carnivore, what can I say? Now, if you know me and my channel, you know that I love sweets, and MSC did not disappoint once again. Now, there was a funfetti cake, a rum cake, and a key lime pie that was out of this world. Okay, so breakfast number 2. I decided to have a bit of a light breakfast on this day because we were back on Ocean Key again, and I was gonna be doing a lot of stuff in the water, and I didn't wanna be too weighed down. All right, so this breakfast was really good. I had a fried egg, a fresh baked croissant with jam, cheesy taquitos, and this pineapple dumpling that was life-changing. That was so good. The dumpling was so soft and so pillowy, and it was stuffed with fresh pineapple. Ooh, so good. All right, so let's move to lunch on the buffet on Ocean Key. I had a lime bean and corn succotash, red beans and rice, pound cake, chicken sandwich, hot dog, french fries, and mac and cheese. But the grilled mahi-mahi was amazing. Considering it's a buffet on a private island, I thought made it even better. All right, on to my next dinner. Now, I had such a great experience in the buffet the night before, I decided to do the buffet once again. This dinner consisted of garlic cheese bread, couscous, corn fritters, some more baked pasta, carved roast beef with mushrooms, a braised beef with polenta. Now this dinner was a home run. The highlights being that braised beef with polenta. The polenta was so creamy and so rich and delicious. Garlic cheese bread, you can't go wrong with garlic cheese bread. Again, the pasta was stellar. Then we move to the desserts. Now I made my way over to the dessert section to grab some sweets, and I noticed they were making fresh crepes. That's one of my favorite desserts of all time. Now this crepe was stuffed with Nutella, a strawberry blueberry sauce, and fresh whipped cream. Now I have to say that this was probably the best thing I ate on the entire cruise. It was scrumptious.
Yummy!
I don't use that word very often, but this was scrumptious. Matter of fact, it was so good that I couldn't stop and I needed more sweets. So I made my way up to the solarium where there is a gelato stand. I hadn't had the gelato yet, so I was super excited to see what MSC Cruises gelato was like. And as expected, it was amazing. I had 2 separate gelatos, caramel panna cotta and espresso. And it came in the cup that was like the size of my head. Perfect way to end my night. So the last dinner I had on the cruise was almost an entire pizza. What can I say? It was that good. Then after downing almost a whole bottle of milk of magnesia, I had to have 1 more serving of gelato. All right, guys, so if you are nervous about the food on MSC Cruises, I hope this puts your mind at ease. Other than that somewhat disappointing meal I had in the main dining room, I thoroughly enjoyed all of the food at the buffets, the desserts, the fresh baked goods, the pasta, and yes, that killer pizza. I probably ate 3 whole pizzas throughout the entire cruise. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Also leave me a comment. I love hearing comments and I love feedback. Let me know if you've cruised on MSC and what you thought about the food. And we'll see you very soon on my next cruise adventure.